I've been noticing how uncomfortable I get when things take time, which I think is a good thing, honestly. Surrendering to that discomfort, it's how we grow. Some of the things I value the most took the longest to happen. Maybe not necessarily the longest amount of time, but it didn't happen immediately. And a big example of that is who I am today. It took 28 years to get here. All of the past decisions and past versions of myself needed to happen for me to become who I am today. And I still feel like I pick out flaws in the way I operate and think. And I forget that life is a continual lesson where we're forever learning, and you don't just wake up one day knowing everything. So it's best to appreciate how far you've come along. And I'm not saying don't aim to be a better person. I'm just saying when you constantly focus on what's wrong, you're programming your mind to always look for that rather than what's right or what's good. And what helped me realize a lot of this was partaking in things that brought me delayed gratification. And that's actually something I thought about this week while working on this frame with my dad. Although I knew this would be a week-long process, from building the frame to applying the epoxy and just all the little steps in between, part of me was still hoping to hang up that final product on day one. But the final product is just an embodiment of the work that it took to make it. And you realize the beauty in each part of the process, and you find joy in building it up piece by piece. And what's funny is the frame captures another journey from last year where I experienced delayed gratification in running a marathon. The race was a good 5 to 6 months of commitment, with the end result of crossing that finish line. But what's funny is, as much as I enjoyed the actual race and running it with my best friend, I look back and really miss all of the training that it took that led to that race. The amount of happiness and sense of achievement I got from each of those runs, whether it was setting a new PR or, I don't know, reaching the new longest distance, it was really reassuring and just reminded me that I was ready and capable. I miss it, and I do plan to run another race this year, but it just won't be the same, you know? It's gonna be, I can't try to replicate that journey that I went on. It's gonna be a whole different journey in itself, and that's the beauty of it. I think the more we put ourselves through things that take time, the more we actually want to struggle and not to avoid it. Because when you get something all at once and it's instant, it's really short-lived and there's just no journey to soak in. And I think about this clip I saw from the Grammys last week of Bad Bunny winning Album of the Year. And when he first won, you kind of just see him sitting there for like at least like a minute, almost 2 minutes, just like soaking it all in. And I don't think he's just soaking in the journey it took making that album that won him that award, but I think he was really soaking in the whole last decade of his life and everything that he endured to get to that moment. My marathon was like a 5 to 6 month process, but I actually find a lot of similarities between running that marathon and making videos, because they're both adventures within themselves. When it comes to brainstorming for a video, or I don't know, just writing the topics that I want to discuss, even shooting and editing it, which is the nitty and gritty of creating the actual video, I don't know, it's you enjoy every part of the process. When you get that final product, it's pure dopamine, and you realize how much of each part of the creation that you really enjoy. Each video I make or each story I tell, it's an adventure within itself, and I'm starting to really look forward to just embarking on each one of them. And when you constantly receive instant gratification from cheap dopamine, you're conditioning your mind to want it more, because there's no barrier to that. There's no barrier to entry or anything really holding you back. It's as accessible as possible, especially with social media and doom scrolling or partaking in drugs or whatever it may be. It's right there and you can choose to do it. And you're left feeling so drained despite not really doing anything. It's unfulfilling because you're not starting that goal that you seek deep within yourself. You're just constantly stimulating. And I definitely still battle those cravings as well. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm just sharing what I've learned from my own experience, because I've definitely felt the highs and I've definitely felt the lows. I think a lot of us were trained to seek instant gratification early on with the internet and social media, growing up with social media, TV, eating food. It was all so easily accessible to us. When you're a kid and you're used to getting that stimulation immediately, you're on demand, waiting becomes so hard for us. It starts to become really uncomfortable, not because waiting is bad, but because we never had to really practice it. And like I said, I catch myself still battling those cravings as well. I don't think it ever goes away. You just get better at noticing it. And when you do more things that take time, it kind of helps you, it kind of helps not, I guess, break that grip that the instant satisfaction or gratification has on you. I think what I'm realizing is that delayed gratification isn't really about patience or discipline or like forcing yourself to wait. It's just about learning to be more present when things aren't finished and aren't just handed to you immediately. Delayed gratification doesn't give you a reward at the end. It just teaches you how to sit with that discomfort, but to still keep going despite that. And maybe that's the real reward, not the frame or the medal or the final cut of the video, but becoming someone that knows how to stay even when the payoff hasn't arrived yet.